Today, Casey, Marty, and Miranda will be presenting key concepts of quantitative action research. Quantitative action research is related to gathering data, finding a correlation, having larger samples, can be replicated, it uses numbers and statistics, and lastly, validity. Validity is a huge part of the quantitative method. Validity is the extent to which an instrument measures what it is supposed to measure. This method can be applied to a variety of tests and assessments or surveys to analyze the data collected. Action-based research has 4 planning phases. Phase 1, planning and design process. Phase 2, action phase. Phase 3, the developing phase. And phase 4, conclusion and reflection.
So we will begin with phase 1, plan and design, or the inquiry part of the process. Basically finding out what the problem is and how to answer the problem in practice. During this initial phase, one would be communicating with colleagues, bouncing off ideas, reviewing life literature, and develop an ethical plan. For example, how to address low reading scores of students. You generally would reach out to fellow teachers and begin reviewing techniques that have been proven most effective in increasing scores, relying on the shoulders of previous giants. This leads us to phase 2, the action phase, or the phase which we would call empirical part of the process, essentially addressing the question or the problem. This is a continuous cycle of experimenting and collecting data, all the while preparing your data for analysis by weeding out any evidence that might question the validity or trustworthiness of the collection.
The third phase is the developing of an action plan. So the main goal of action research is to develop or create an action plan based on what you learn. The action plan could implement a new strategy, different practice, or alternative approach that addresses the problem of practice. Sometimes as a result of the research, you realize nothing needs to change. The developing phase can also create new questions and start the action cycle over again. Implementation can occur at various levels. Phase 4 is the share and reflection stage. There are 2 main components to this reflection stage. The first is to communicate or share your results with other people who are interested in your topic. It may be your team at school on your grade level or a subject area, or it may be bigger than that. The second part is reflecting on what you've learned and how you're going to apply it. It allows you to critically think about your own practice, reflect on questions to create more meaningful and deeper levels of understanding. You may decide that a practice is not working, or maybe it is working, or maybe it just needs to be modified.
In conclusion, any teacher or educator in almost any setting can do action research. When someone identifies a problem of practice and follows the stages of action research, one can implement improvements to their practice.